Ooh, Doctor Who's back. I want to see what was that? They said Doctor Who and the Mystery of the Rods. That sounds like it would be an episode.
I would watch that.
I would watch the hell out of that. What about you, Rob?
I've never seen Doctor Who. That's a weird confession I'll make right now. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but this sounds like a great guy. I like this Doctor Who, so I'm sure I'd like that Doctor Who too.
Yeah, that's fine. And he seems to almost back up the case for rods and pictures. Well, that's all fine for pictures, though. But what about all the videos? Rods.
However, in video, the recording process is different. The moving picture is made up of a series of stills or frames. Within each frame, there are two fields, interlaced together to give the video a smooth motion. So in a camera that records at 30 frames per second, there are 60 fields per second. The dual fields in each frame of video can create elongation and duplication of objects moving at high speeds. Using this car as an example, not only is it elongated when the two fields are combined, but four wheels are visible instead of two. To demonstrate, Doctor Who has set up a simple experiment. Fire a paintball through the field of view of a video camera. If his theory is correct, we will see not a single ball passing by, but an image in each field, creating a doubled or elongated image of the ball.
So Doctor Who is going to try and prove rods by using
paintballs. Yeah. Oh, balls. Great. That's good. We've completed
and a paintball gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouchies.
Yeah. The other guy his idea was to shake a bush, and this guy is like, no, if you're gonna if you want the secret of rods, you have to go
Ask
with the balls first.
Yes.
I feel like I should have seen this coming.
Yeah. But... Well, nobody can see it coming at all.
Well, that's the problem with rods.
The problem.
And the other problem is it didn't work though. But he did actually prove a lot. He proved that you could duplicate the ball trick didn't work at all, barely. But he did prove that you could duplicate rods in the video blur theory as long as it had an even amount of wings. See, he did prove that there was blur when he took that video of that car. You would see two sets of tires. So as long as you had one set of wings, it would kind of elongate it in this crappy old video of 30 frames a second, and it would look like, I don't know, some kind of rod, something flying around you're not supposed to see. But that's the thing, though. He said that it had to have an even amount of wings. But wait.
But then, how do you explain this rod with an odd number of wings?
Hold on, wait. I just saw something. Look at this.
3 sets of wings.
Yeah, that's different.
Jose and his assistant have found a rod image that seems to contradict Doctor Who's doubling theory.
What does it mean?
It means that their theory about double image is not going to wash with this.
Yeah, good job, Jose. Doctor Who looks pretty foolish right now with that scarf and everything, right?
Yeah, someone clipped that rod's wing, man.
No, if it had 3, man, he's just like, oh, Doctor Who says they can only have evens. You have no idea how many rods Jose is packing back here. He can pull out any number of rods that have an odd amount of wings because they're odd. They're rods.
Boy, Doctor Who, you should fucking just pack up, quit. You're just making a joke of yourself.
He is making him look foolish, and I think maybe there is an in for me to maybe take Jose's place. But I don't know. It's almost time to wrap up these rod experiments. They got a lot going.
Got to wrap up those rods, yeah.
Got to wrap them up. Keep those rods away from kids, and we gotta start with these high-speed camera tests. And Peter, remember him? He's the bird guy.
Oh yes. How could I forget?
And then he became the bug. The bird people got sick of him, and they sent him to the bug guy. So,
how long did they wait around praying for a hummingbird?
They just sat down back at the laptop. They showed him the JFK of cave rods. They showed him that about 20 times, and they said, "Yeah, you know what? It's a bug." But let's see what happens with Peter and his high-speed camera test.
Peter Schmitz and the high-speed camera test may reveal the answer to this mystery. As a crew member shakes the bushes and lawn to get more bugs moving through the field of view, rods suddenly appear on the standard camera. They had been hiding in the foliage. As a crew member stirs the surrounding foliage, rods appear, first as just a streak. But when moving closer to the camera and the light source, the image takes on a more rod-like form. The source is revealed: a moth.
No.
What?
The rod. This rod's been busted. It's a moth. Or I have a
Bustin',
debut
bustin',
conspiracy.
Uh-huh.
No, I have a debut conspiracy. Put it in here. Maybe these are Mothman babies.
Yeah. I don't want that to be the truth, but that's
High-speed,
pretty damning.
invisible
It
to
lines
the
up.
eye.
Yeah.
When you
interdimensional. Like, I mean, sounds like it.
Damn.
can see, just a Mothman is just a big rod,
Shit.
big one. He's got a statue of him. He's huge.
And he was connected to a big old disaster, and I guess what they're seeing rods by other disasters or whatever, like giant ass tornadoes. Maybe that was a little baby Mothman.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they haven't heard my theory, so they still think it's bugs.
Idiots.
But what about the other rod videos? Are these all bugs?
So, are all rods bugs? Not necessarily. In this series of digital still photos shot by Anders Jalovic in Malmö, Sweden, a rod swoops down to the water. As he increases the shutter speed during successive exposures, the rod clearly is seen as a seagull. But when he decreases the shutter speed, it becomes a rod again.
What the hell? So it could be a bird. Oh my god.
So now some are
Shapeshifter.
now some are
Shapeshifter
seagulls.
rods.
All right, Seagull Man is a baby rod. So it could be moth, could be seagull, but it seems like most of the rods can be explained by just plain old camera distortion. Like I said, either moth, seagulls, space debris, even, but things flying really fast during a tornado. Remember, think back to that.
Yeah.
The tornado that could have just been some debris. But this investigation is done, and here's a wrap up where we are going to learn if the FBI ever let us know what those big old rods were. You remember that? Do you think we're going to find out what those big old rods were from the beginning?
Probably not.
Hell no. The FBI doesn't let anybody know. It's the important facts are not for us to know.
Yeah.
So
All
the
right.
FBI is not telling anybody.
They get off on
Keeping the
secrets.
rods close.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Let's hear it in the wrap up. Let's hear.
In this experiment, Monster Quest used sophisticated photographic equipment under controlled conditions to reveal the true identity of several rods, proving that they can be debris, birds, or bugs. But without additional data, it is impossible to know for sure what creature or object is behind each and every rod image. Like the mysterious video shot by Brandon Mowry in Albany, New York.
Yeah, what about that?
We know only that the camera recorded a distorted image of some kind of winged object over the airport that day. However, until the FBI releases the results of their investigation, we may never know for sure.
What we do know is that it created enough havoc, all right, to have the FBI interrogate the cameraman and for them to take the tape and try to just sweep it under the rug, because we've never heard anything of what happened to that tape anymore.
At this time, science does not support the probability that rods exist in the modern world. But the door is still open.
To say that they don't exist, that's incorrect. They're there. What are they? That's the tougher question.
We don't know.
In science, it's very important that we're open-minded because we don't know everything.
Will we ever know the truth, guys? And what does the FBI know? Release those rods.
Please.
Give that dude back his tape. He's still kind of sour
Yeah.
that he never got it back.
That's stealing. You can't just steal from people like that. That's his dildo tape or rod tape.
Yeah, FBI. Even Zapruder got his film back, and he was able to sell it to like Life magazine or something. Give this man back his rod footage. He wants to watch it.
Yeah.
And
And so do we.
like the, and as you, we would love it. Rob will take, and you just send us all your rods. I'll take them too. I want to say.
Oh, you'll take them.
I'll get into Jose, but even though that was from 2008, rods have not gone away. And let's hear a clip another time from Channel 9 News in Oklahoma City from 2014.
Cameras capture a variety of time, but sometimes they capture something else, something unexplained.
Here at News 9, we've captured a few unusual objects on video, so we wanted to investigate further to see what it is. Could it be something mysterious living in the sky? One man thinks so, but you decide.
There is a phenomenon that exists among us.
Jose Escamilla says he discovered this phenomenon 20 years ago
They swim through the air like fish.
when he saw a pattern of strange objects on some photographs.
At first, I thought they were insects, birds, close to the lens of the camera.
But at such a high shutter speed, he said that wasn't possible.
We think it's a living entity of some kind. It does have behavior of being alive.
He calls them rods, measuring 1 to 6 feet long, with a cylinder body and multiple sets of wings. Skeptics, however, don't buy it.
Some people are calling flying rods. But
Mark Zimmerman teaches photography at the University of Central Oklahoma. He talked about rods in class after a student captured something unusual.
People in class joke around about like UFOs or anything, but most likely it was probably like a bug or a plane or something.
A what? A blood?
Well, or something. He's tired.
But here we are. 2014, and that's a nice touch to talk to Jose Escamilla, the one true, champion of the rod, that he's still being included. If rods come up, this man is synonymous. The champion of the rod. I love him.
Yeah, he's the expert now. He knows more about these rods than anybody ever will, so they really need to give him some respect.
And they finally said, they didn't even say in the history special, maybe it's a part of his new shtick, that he is the discoverer. He discovered rods. He is the literal champion of the rod. He discovered them, which is nice for them. He is. And but there's a little bit more to that news clip. Let's hear it. Hear the wrap up on on Jose's rod.
Some sort of scientific answer for things like this.
So he took several photographs at different exposure times, capturing something similar to a rod, but instead a moth.
And the shutter speed is going to be so long that you're going to capture that movement of light.
Escamilla viewed Eric's photograph and agrees. In this case, it's not a rod.
Each object has its certain pattern of flight. You can tell what an insect looks like. You can tell what a bird looks like, a dragonfly, and a rod is a rod.
Rods captured around the world in the sky and underwater, even here at News 9.
Reporting in southeast Oklahoma City, Adriana Ivashinsky, News 9.
In this report, Escamilla says it's probably just a blurred insect. However, in this tornado footage taken from Sky News 9 in 1999...
Those rods are huge, man. That one white rod that comes out of the top of the cloud, that cloud front was 10 miles away from the helicopter. That thing must have been 100 feet length.
So are rods real and exist among us? Strange living things that appear and disappear in the blink of an eye?
You can believe what you want or disbelieve, but the fact is these things are here.
Escamilla says technology has improved the documentation of rods, where he's now able to capture them using infrared filters.
Yeah, Jose is upgrading. He's got infrared filters and stuff now. This was in 2014. Imagine where he is now with his rod tech.
Night rods. Yes, I'm for
This
it.
dude probably goes to sleep watching videos of rods. He probably has all the books. This dude's whole
wrote
life
the book.
is
He wrote
rods.
the book. Yeah,
he wrote the books.
Breathes rods.
He has a book on rods.
Shits rods.
But I'll just say, if anything, God forbid, happens to Jose Escamilla, I would like to be the next rod champion. I think I could do a great job. And so
do a lot of research.
What do you guys think about rods in general? Oh, and we didn't even catch it at the end of that clip. There's a second soundboard clip for the night. It's almost a 2-for-1. Let's hear it.
Sky News 9 in 1999.
Those rods are huge, man.
Yes. Okay, I'm glad you clipped that, because
it sounds like an
so
advertisement for the news. Sky News 9 in 1999. Those rods are huge. Let's hear it again.
Sky News 9 in 1999.
Those rods are huge, man.
It's impressive. In the bone zone.
Everything was built to that, the bone zone, and now we got the 1999 rods. They were huge, man.
They don't make them like they used to.
So what do you think, Rob? I know you've learned a lot more than you knew when we started about rods. What do you think about rods, man? You think there actually is something out there? Do you think it's just camera anomalies? What's the deal?
I think I knew about this, but I managed to unlearn everything I knew about it. Okay. I managed to unlearn everything I knew about it after a few years. I've definitely watched this Monster Quest episode, and I still don't know. You know what? Some things aren't, like they said in Monster Quest, some things aren't for us to know.
And
you know?
so you're saying he's Rob's experimented, messed around with rods a little bit, but he's ready to jump right in on him because he's got a DVD somewhere. And